Hi, I'm Teri, Kilo Oscar 4 Whiskey Foxtrot Papa, and this is my main man, Glenn.
Amen. W4YES.
And we are back to talk about instant character recognition. We told you in the video series that we would be putting out short videos to address questions and as well just highlights about ICR and
Yeah.
what's important in it.
We've had a few questions,
We've
right?
had quite a few questions,
Right.
actually.
And so we start to kind of see a pattern in which we've done this for years. And so we're going to talk about some of those today, the top five.
Well, I don't know if they're the top five.
They're the top five.
Oh, are they the top
They're the
five?
top
Okay,
five.
so we've decided they're the top. Glenn has decided they're the top five. All right. So what are the top five that we need to?
You're right.
To talk about?
There's another top five coming up after this someday. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the top five are to keep in mind when you're doing your instant character recognition training. The first one is
Mindset is so important. I remember years ago someone asked me to create a video as far as CW classes go about a performance mindset. Okay, so I went off to create that, and the more I tried, the further I felt like I was getting from doing it. And then I realized, no, this needs to be a growth mindset, not a performance mindset. We're not performing, we're having fun, right? This is a hobby. So we don't want to focus on that, but there's a distinction between a growth mindset and a
fixed mindset,
right? Which we can often have when we feel like my abilities are just what they are.
They're fixed. I can't change. I can't learn.
Right.
And when you get that way, you also don't like making mistakes because it bursts your ego. So a growth mindset is different. A growth mindset says, I can't do this yet. And I'm going to make all these mistakes
Right.
because I see what I want to achieve, and I can't get there without making mistakes. And the mistakes are okay because they're part of the process.
Well, in fact, mistakes are necessary.
Yes.
So you're going to make a certain number of mistakes over whatever time it takes you to reach your goal. You might as well just pack them in as tight as you can and get it over with.
Get it over with, right.
Right.
And then the other thing is, in mindset, is you have to do it. Don't go into this training and think, I think I'm going to try this.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm all in. I'm going to set aside all the other methodologies, all the other things, because if you're doing other training while you're doing this, especially if you're working with slower character speeds, you're going to be at cross purposes. Set all those things aside and be all in and go for it.
And those cross purposes are mutually exclusive in many cases. So you can't embrace two ideas simultaneously that are mutually exclusive. So yeah, put those aside for a bit. Focus on one thing. This is not like trying on a shirt or something that I want to see if it fits. Go all in on this because this is fundamental. This is where things do happen. So mindset's important. That's number one.
Okay. Number two is
speak the characters out loud.
yeah. And you'd be surprised how many people ask us and say, do you really mean to speak the characters out loud?
Absolutely. And here's why.
Can't I just speak them in my mind?
You
And
can.
It's like, you can, but it's not going to help you. You need
can.
to speak it out loud.
But I've heard people say, well, when I'm on the air, you really expect me to speak the characters? No. This is a training exercise, right? It's just training. We're training our brain, the subconscious component of our brain, to associate that did-it-ah-dit with an F. And the best way to do that, the quickest, the most efficient, and most effective way to do that is in time, temporarily, to have did-it-ah-dit and a spoken letter F come into our ears, even though it's our own voice. And that's how these are tightly associated. So at some point in the future, you're going to hear did-it-ah-dit, and you don't even think about it. All of a sudden, the letter F, you speak F, and you go, oh, I hope that was right. And it is. And it's kind of a revelation of a moment when you realize, oh, that's what this is.
Right.
That's how this works. Right. This is a training exercise. Once you do that with all the characters, all 40 characters, these start to get embedded in a way in your mind such that they just start to happen. But that happens only most effectively with speaking the characters aloud. So in the training exercise, the idea is to speak it before the computer does. Right? Set your recognition time to something that is going to. And we're going to get to that a little later. But yeah, to something that you're going to speak it before the computer does.
Right. So that's number 2.
That's number 2. What's number 3?
The third is to use a high enough character speed, and that's 32 words per minute or higher. And most people who hear that go,
"Oh, I must be in the wrong class."
I know, I can't do that. And it's like, yes, you need to do that. Why do we do that? Why do we say you've got to use a fast character?
First of all, over the years we've crept up on this. We've realized that 20 is not enough, 25 is not enough, 27. We kept trying and trying, thinking, okay, it's not going to, and it is around 32 words per minute that we begin to hear the characters as a single unit, because the idea is to bend our brain away from the dits and das to the point where you don't really even hear so much the dits and das as you hear a sound of a character. And that's the goal. But that can't happen at a slower character speed, because we've become so accustomed to decoding Morse code. We have to decode it.
And we don't want to use that word anymore.
No,
we don't want to decode.
We don't have to decode.
No, you don't have to.
Nope. It's a thing of the past. It's where people get stuck with plateaus and that sort of thing. And we don't need to get there. So let's learn how to do this more efficiently, and that is done with a faster character speed.
That's right.
It's proven to be the case.
I was going to say the other reason why it has to be faster, and remember, it's faster for everybody is a little different speed. It takes some experimentation to find that right speed. Don't go slower than 32. You want to go faster than 32. And I don't remember where I was going with
32
this.
or above. I don't know where you're going. You tell me next time where you're going, and then I can tell you. But yeah, 32 or above. There are people who go up into the mid 40s even. And I'm not saying you should. Not saying anyone should do this or that, except you should make sure it's at least 32 words per minute, because that's where it began. That's where we began generally to hear the characters as single sounds.
I remember what it was.
Okay. I knew if I talked long enough, you'd get it.
You have to do that faster character speed because we are trying to deprive the brain of the ability to count dits and das.
Right.
I don't care what people tell you. There are people who say you can do it at 12 words per minute. You can do it 14 words per minute, 20 words per minute. That's just nonsense. That slower side of your brain is going to count dits and das. And the only way to get out of that, to get past that, is to make it fast enough that your brain just can't do it.
That's where our success stories come from.
That's right.
People who do it like this.
So number 3 is stay in the learning zone.
Actually, this is number 4.
Oh, that's right, because we changed the order. So it's number 4.
This is number 4.
Stay in the learning zone because it is easy to play it safe, right? Especially if you have that fixed mindset.
So what is the learning zone?
The learning zone is missing, thank you for asking, the learning zone is missing 30 to 50% of the characters you're training with.
What?
I know. Most people are like, ouch.
Wait. The whole time I've been working with Morse code over the years, I've been trying to get as much as I can. And now you're telling me
make mistakes.
What?
Why? There's a purpose for this, right? You make mistakes because you want to find the speed bumps. If you're doing it at a speed where you can copy everything, you're not learning anything.
That's right.
You want to push yourself. That means stressing yourself. That means putting yourself where you're going to make mistakes because you want those problem characters to jump up. You want to work on them separately, and you can't do that unless you push yourself to find those problem characters.
Right. So about a third to a half misses. And what do we mean by misses? It's not just getting the character wrong, right?
It's also when you hear the computer send a P and you go, P. That is a problem. It should come instantly, without any ums.
Without any, because you're still in your mind trying to figure out what that did. Right.
So don't play it safe.
Yeah. Get out there and say hamburger, cheeseburger. So just say something, right? And it'll amaze you. All of a sudden, things start coming out that's like, oh, where did that come from?
Right.
No, don't say hamburger.
No,
cheeseburger.
Please don't do that.
No.
But push yourself. Don't play it safe. Push yourself in your training.
Right.
And then the last
finally
is timing of sessions. And we were speaking with somebody the other day, and when we were thinking about this video, we added this because I know we talked about timing of sessions, but you want to make sure, I'm jibber-jabbering here. Why don't you talk about timing of sessions?
What we need to make sure is we don't get into a frustration point. I would keep sessions, ICR sessions, to, what do you think, 10 minutes?
Yeah, at the most, and define 10 minutes. How are you doing that 10 minutes?
We're discovering, right? We're discovering what characters are giving us trouble, right? Whether they're slow or whether they're wrong.
And that's about 5 minutes of that, right?
Okay.
Looking at the whole subset or the whole set of what you're working, whether it's letters.
Shorter's better. Yeah. Now, I don't mean like 30 seconds better than 5 minutes, but don't do this for 30 minutes. Don't do it for even 15 minutes.
No.
There comes a point when the learning curve begins to drop off.
Right.
So stay fresh. And if it starts to feel hard or frustrating or something like that, just step away from it for a bit.
So you do that 3 to 5 minutes of finding those troublesome characters, pull them out separately, work on them, 2 to 3 minutes. Max.
Oh, absolutely.
Max.
That's heavy lifting.
That is heavy lifting. Mm-hmm. And then once you finish that session, put them all back in. If you're working on letters and you worked on Z, F, and X, work on those. Put them back in with all the letters and do another 3 or 4 minutes.
And oftentimes other characters will begin then to bubble up and just keep working on that list, whatever is
you
discovered.
can note those down for your next session.
Right.
And then be done. Walk away,
and
come back to it later.
Absolutely.
It's just so much more effective.
Comprehensively, what were you going to say, Glenn? How much should we be doing this during a day, for instance? We recommend.
Well, in our course, we ask everybody to commit to 1 hour 1 hour a day, 6 days a week of practice, and of that hour, we like roughly 40 minutes to be for wordless trainer and 20 minutes on the air.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't mean at 20 minutes you stop being on the air.
Right. And that's a fluid guideline because as we go through the course, we add more skills, more things that people are training with. So
the word I was looking for is cumulatively.
Cumulatively.
That's a big word for me.
There you go.
That was why it took so long. But yeah, we need to immerse ourselves in this for a certain period of time each day and make it consistent. Consistency is one of the most important things to do here. Don't work on it today and next week sometime. Try to do some every day. Every single day.
Well, no. Remember, we always take a time out 6 days a week.
6 days a week.
Why? Because your brain needs a break.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but my brain's not a machine. And I need a break. I need a day off. So make sure you take some time off here or there because your brain needs time to consolidate what you've been working on.
What we actually see often is people take a break and then they make progress during that break.
Yes, they come back and they're like,
yeah, oh, this is
I
better.
needed to take a break.
Right.
I didn't realize that. So.
Right. That's pretty cool.
Anyway,
that's pretty
there
cool.
you got it. I think we've rambled on long enough.
That's the top 5.
Oh, we've been rambling on for almost 13 minutes.
And we'll make another top 5 next. Whatever the top 5 means. But these are important points.
Yes. So thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you again here on this channel in the future.
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.